Let's go!
So excited to have you back.
Let's go!
So excited to have you back. I like being in non-meetings with you. This is more exciting. We've been talking about this fan stream for a while. I know there's a lot of things. 86 Megatron. Got it. Yep, he's here. Finally. Appreciate your patience. Not everything is always in our control when we reveal things, so really appreciate your patience here. We're going to go over all the fine details of him. If you have any questions, please throw them in comments. Again, we want
I'm
to
hoping Tailkeeper gave something.
the guy who designed it, one of the designers. One of the designers, and who's Sakara? You get some. Over at
I also did the Fallen. He's like the tank dude. So
yeah. So incredibly excited. We have a lot of things to go over. So of course, everything here goes live for pre-order at 1 p.m. Eastern. We're not doing any exclusives today. This is just Studio Series. Last fan stream was Age of the Primes.
Yep.
That's why we had Mark. Today we got Studio Series, no exclusives. We're gonna go over a couple of them, but pre-orders 1 p.m. all multi-channel. So it should be pretty a lot simpler than the last speech I had for the pre-orders we had for Age of the Primes.
I think so. We may not have a few surprises.
Yes, we do have some. I'm glad you mentioned that. So we are going to have I think, our very first fan poll question,
yes,
which I'm very excited about. We often are saying, Evan, what do you think the fans would think about this? And you say this most of the time we're on. Sometimes we disagree. And this question, I think you're going to really like it. So stay to the end. Because we really want your answers. Truly, we really want your answer. This is yes or no question. I'm going to get into it later. We are also going to show, actually, first time in a while, this is Devastator, some gray models, early prototypes, and I believe this is the very first time you'll see any 2026.
Yes. Yep. We wanted to make sure we didn't just want to throw up a through the space bridge. We wanted to actually show you some of the development, kind of let you guys see the very beginning and things like that. So it's very exciting.
Yes, this is really excited. And we're also going to respond to some fan comments, which I think is also a first time.
It is.
So we got a lot. So everyone's
Let's go, man.
Can you please just show Megatron?
Yes.
So let's show you Studio Series 86 Megatron.
There he is.
We know that you've seen images of this, so again, appreciate your patience. But now we have the Hasbro design with Evan. So
dude, it looks so good.
It's Megatron. It's 86 Megatron. I know everybody's been waiting for this guy for quite a while. Really happy that we finally got him out there.
Dude, he looks great.
An absolutely fantastic job on the design.
Wow.
All came together in the end. I don't know. Where do I even begin? What are your questions?
Megatron. So, the question, obviously, I've seen you, the interview at last year's Comic-Con. This is a discussion that's been around for, goodness, probably decades at least.
A couple of years. Ever since I've been doing like San Diego Comic-Cons, we've always
dude, it looks so good.
Blaster or tank. And I've always been very upfront that he will always be a tank, just because we can't.
Legal. Yeah, it is a legal toy guidelines. I mean, that's about as transparent as we get. That's literally what the issue is. We're not trying to change canon, but I do love, at least in the Transformers Devastation, where he's a tank. I've, grew up with him as a blaster, but also I think kind of
where there's a secret mode where you can do it or not.
I think better. Controversial, maybe. I know people are on both sides of it, but here we are.
We want to give you both, though. So he does come with his tiny blaster form that you can use for any of your other Decepticons to hold. My favorite is Starscream, obviously. When he holds it, he goes, I love it thrown away. But
dude, that's so cool, man. Look at that.
We were first talking about revealing him before he got revealed.
Look at that, man.
On the table and just sleep the tank off, and we get to a little bit, and just be like, look, we figured out mass compression. And I was like, oh no, not really. But really just happy with this figure overall.
Dude, he looks really freaking good.
That we really wanted to get into with him.
I haven't seen him get this Megatron.
So you can actually pop out his shoulders just a little bit, and then he can bring it forward, just so that he can do a lot more of his iconic poses. Whenever he fires his blaster in the animation, he's always holding it like this, like with his hand like that. And I'm assuming that's because that's how the original toy was back in the day. So, but in modern comics, they always kind of put his hand down.
Yeah.
In the animation, he's always holding it like that. So he can do both. Whatever you guys want to do right there.
Dude, let's go, man.
Almost fatally wound Optimus Prime. So that was something that we wanted to put in there as a good representation of the 86 scene to do that final fight, and actually just to kind of show off some.
Yeah, there we go. Look at that.
Here you go, Megatron. There. So he's a little bit taller than Optimus is.
Dude.
Everybody agrees he should be. So
The sizing.
Series 86 Optimus Prime. It's a couple millimeters taller.
Wow.
So he has great proportions. Yeah. Really wanted to make sure and get in there and get that. Obviously in tank mode, rolls. This tank turret rotates. And then, yeah.
And talk about how you landed on this form of the tank.
Oh, certainly. So after doing some research, this is actually, we based it off of a prototype tank that was never produced in the 80s. And
Oh.
it ended up being called like the Armored Blaster System or something like that. It's like, that's perfect. That's literally, yeah, that's literally what Megatron should be. So that's what we based a lot of this off of. And you just did a great job. We, in the original kickoff doc over to Tomi, I kind of put in, it's like, it would be great if we could actually focus a lot of the tank transformation into the legs, because he's a lot of leg mass, so there's a lot that you could hide in there, and we didn't want to give him like a monstrous backpack, which we've been doing. And yeah,
They nailed it, man.
Kind of a nice, sleek silhouette. Yeah, I'm just really happy.
This is incredibly sleek, and I think if you could talk about, because I'm looking at this,
yeah,
and this reminds me a lot of the Tomi masterpiece, and that there's just like no kibble on the back, and if from what I can see, it really seems like the only way you can even identify that this OP's turned into converts into a tank is the treads, which you can kind of see on the back,
hanging out on the back of his legs.
Other than that, I mean, are there any details I'm missing? That other than that, I really don't even see anything that is not from like the
Dude, this looks so good, man.
Yeah, to reference the masterpiece, obviously you can play with that toy. Its transformation is insane. Yeah, but now this was just kind of doing the best we could with what we had, and this is what happened. And I'm just really happy, really proud of it. The side skirts were actually a big priority. I know that's something we don't always get on our Transformer figures, but it's such an iconic part of his silhouette that we wanted to make sure it was there. He has hand-finger articulation, rotating wrists. Yeah, really just, it's a great figure.
No, let's straight.
I do like the B-movie one, though.
How patient you were with 86 segment, with holding Megatron in 2025. It's very impressive. I knew you
pounded me every year. It's like, let's do 86 Megatron. It's like, hold.
There's a plan.
Yeah. But yeah, really just happy with how.
Dude, he looks so good, man.
And again, pre-orders 1 p.m. Eastern. Really excited. This will be the last wave of Leader and Studio Series 2025. Mm-hmm. And his.
Oh, it's coming out this year.
Will be in the case back with him.
Oh yeah, let's talk about him. You got him right over there.
Familiar friends. Of course, yes.
Finally they're gonna reissue the Gridlock I want to get.
Non-redeco, this is the original sculpt. You know us, we love our
original flavor. Yeah.
So of course,
I'm still waiting for the Bayverse Dinobots.
Completely understand that this was the first Dinobot we did. Yep, gladness. When was that?
2021.
Around there, so like had COVID time. So I think a lot of people were getting back into Transformers collecting. Yeah. And honestly, a huge part of that is COVID.
Showed that we were going to do all 5. Yes. At a bigger scale. And obviously, this was done by the Suicide over at Tomi, so it's freaking fantastic. He did all the Dinobots, and we know that you all have been asking us, please rerun him. We told you, we will. Thank you for being patient. He's coming.
Yeah, love anytime that we can get a figure that's in super high demand to get them back out at retail. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. Again, this is us looking at it like, wow, there's a lot of demand for this figure. Yep. all of the secrets.
Oh, let's go!
Election. So of course it's
Oh, finally we can finish this gamer edition stickers.
Seekers. I do love the real classic blue. Obviously love
The big three, baby. Woo! Let's go, man.
years ago. It used to, the years change. They change every day.
You are reminding me of
Dude, it looks
we
good.
would do some like fan and kit testing, and we were trying to see like what alt modes that kids were really drawn to. And a lot of kids like would grab Thundercracker and they would ask for mine. It's like because he's a blue jet, and everybody just and that was pretty much it. They weren't exactly sure who he was, but they were like, blue jet.
It just looks cool.
Yeah, he just looks.
That doesn't take much more than that.
Yeah.
So
It looks really freaking good.
Here he is with the other Seekers. Happy to complete this trio. Obviously, this was done by Tomo-san, who has done all of these. And something that we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that each head had a unique expression for all of them. And what we did is we actually followed the in-game models for some of their coloring. And what that means is if you watch any of the cutscenes in the game, they actually all have old game. They didn't exactly follow all the art for actually making the assets. We understand that working on movie stuff, working on concept art constantly, but happy to get that out there. He comes with essentially a expanded sized version of like a classic machine gun, machine blaster, and then he has his melee weapon that they all kind of came with. But yeah, there he is.
Dude, he looks cool.
Well, that's awesome. So how do you? I know we're talking about character selections all the time. How do you choose the rollout of the Seekers? Have we always done Starscream first?
Sometimes. I think Starscream's always the guarantee because he's the Seeker that everybody knows.
Yeah.
Like name wise, it's like, oh, that's Starscream. He's the jet. Blue is my favorite color, so I would always lean towards Thundercracker starting. People love Skywarp because black and purple, you can't beat that color combination, and then people just love Starscream, right? But more often than not, Starscream will usually lead the way since he's the leader of the Seekers. But yeah, here you go. You can complete your trio now. Yeah, is there anything else before we move on to our next Voyager?
No, I'm good if you're good.
Yeah, I'm definitely good. And obviously, he still has the arm swapping mechanics that the rest of them have because it's a War for Cybertron figure, so they can swap off their own for their weapon. And yeah, I think that kind of covers him. So we'll move on to a piece of Devastator.
A piece of Devastator. My favorite Constructicon. Really?
Devastator!
Ow! Because he's a cement mixer.
Mix Master!
Modern designs got weird.
Dude, whoa!
Just want to see him on the street. That's like, how's he driving backwards?
Dude, let's go!
So yeah, I know that there were some questions on why are some of them Voyager, why are some of them Deluxe. Mixmaster is a Voyager because he's one of the feet, so we had to build in ratchets so that he can have an ankle tilt when he becomes Devastator. So that's definitely one of the reasons. Obviously, all the Constructicons were done by Hisui-san and Richikawa Kami, who also worked on the previous version of Devastator. So taking a lot of learnings from that, putting them in here. It's a fantastic figure.
Dude, he looks really freaking cool. I love Devastator. He's my boy. My favorite combiner. Second favorite is Defensor.
Yeah. And to get him again, just all in 1 year, still incredibly sad. I'm still waiting on my commander Voyager 2-pack to get my house. Should be very, very soon. Oh, I know he's out there. Oh yeah, I know he's out there, and so. This is impressive. We're finally getting out here. Do you want to do the other guy? Yeah, let's just jump right. Let's straight to us. I know there's been some images online, Scrapper, but also Devastator. So let's bring out Scrapper. Can you?
Scrapper!
Yeah, and can you talk about? I see on the fan channel.
Dude, look at those! Oh my god!
The scales, and it seems like a lot of fans understand. Scale is not like Deluxe equals 4 inches and Voyager equals nothing. Can you kind of go into a little explanation on how you determine scales and really it's really more the price point. It's not even really necessarily the height of the figure or the size of the figure. Like Bumblebee's a really good example with Deluxe, where he's typically smaller, but where you're able to have like more deco and more accessories.
It is true. When we put it this way here, we have more tooling available towards us, which is usually what we need for internals on a lot of these figures. So that's one of the big differences between like Mixmaster and Scrapper, Scavenger. Sorry, I said Scrapper. Yeah, no, it's okay. I have a weird dyslexic hang when I mess them up as well. But yeah, thank you. So one of the reasons, obviously, then is, as I said before, Mixmaster has a ratchet actually built into the side of his waist. And
Bring him up.
yeah,
Oh my God, Devastator!
we have a completed Devastator right here. Might Devastate. Yeah, I think he came together quite well.
Awesome.
Oh, well, he looks really freaking cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. I mean, I've had the previous version on my desk for so long. Like, obviously the other one is bigger, but this one with modern articulation, modern. Like, I'm certainly a sucker for the cartoon animation accuracy. I know there's depends on who you ask and what they're looking for, but I think you guys just did such an incredible job, and it's a scale so well. Actually, I'm Optimus. You've got Optimus? Oh yeah. Let's read this again to show the scale, which is like critical because again, there's times we have so many conversations about scale, and I know you are such a purist when it comes to like 86 is scale, and I know the fans appreciate it, and then you could see that actually. Do you might grab them? I want to. I mean, might as well we have them show really the kind of.
Oh, I should have brought Sludge so we can pick him up and throw him
with the eyes out.
Yeah. Oh, God. I did not understand what was happening as a kid watching that scene. Funny story about Devastator is many years ago when Takara Tomy came to visit us, and we were talking about what was going to happen in the future, and we were like, oh, so what are some ideas that you're thinking about? We were out to dinner, and I was just talking with Hisui-san, and I was like, oh, I think Devastator would be very fun to do.
Yeah.
Before we even kicked it off, the next time they came and visited, he brought a block model, and it was just like, oh, okay, you've been thinking about it. Yeah, and everybody's reaction was, whoa, Devastator, and everybody got super excited about it, and it got everybody on board, because we were still kind of hesitating if we were going to do it all in 1 year or space it out from 2 years. Seeing the block model in person when they brought it, it shifted to, we have to do it all in 1 year. So, it's very exciting. It's just fun to do a combiner for 86 and Studio Series.
And that was one of the differences from Metasaur, where, if I remember correctly, you developed Devastate all the pieces together, which is what you're just talking about, versus kind of in stages previously.
Normal, when we design combiners, everything is usually started all at once in very rough form factors of block model. Metasaur was also developed like that, but at the end, the final piece had to be moved out of wave due to some logistics stuff that came up, but that happens. But this one made sure everybody in 1 year. Well, yeah, it's Devastator. I'm pretty happy with him, and I hope you all are as well, and I hope you all have fun building and playing this game.
Any more details on Scavenger? Just want to make sure we don't just kind of go straight to Devastator with it.
I mean,
anything on Scavenger you want to highlight?
He's an excavator. I mean, he's a solid figure. He has all the standard articulation that he needs to have for a deluxe. It's one of those things where when you're talking about the individual Constructicons, I immediately go to, well, they make Devastator, so let's talk about Devastator. Yeah. He just, I hope you all enjoy him.
Oh, I will.
Just say again, I know we've talked about this with fans a bunch. We really are encouraging you to collect these this year in 2025. I can speak transparently. What we've said, I mean, get us at least for a year now. There's no plans for a gift set for 26 or 27 right now.
Yeah.
We are knee deep in 2027 planning, and we are not planning a box set for 2026 or 2027. And that's intentional. That's not to say that we'll never do one, but again, we want to make sure that there's some exclusivity in the year, but also some excitement, so then we can move on to other combiners. Obviously, we've already talked about Bruticus is coming in Age of the Primes, so we'll kind of talk about some combiners later on in this fan stream actually. But just wanted to put that out
Defensor?
there.
No way.
Well, I heard them say this. I heard them
If
say
they,
this.
oh my
but
god,
it's like,
if they do
I can tell
Defensor.
you there's no plans for a box set in 2026, 27. But who knows for the future? We do love our G2. There's all sorts of different options. Obviously, there's the toy accuracy that we've talked about as well. But
Yellow Devastator?
It's the Transformer team. So yes, Redecos will be coming in the future. Just maybe not right now.
yeah, exactly.
But okay, shall we move on to the other deluxes?
Let's do it. Okay, so that wraps up the last wave of Voyager. So again, that's Mixed Master from '86, Thundercracker from War for Cybertron. Thank you so much for always remembering to doing the other figures for scale.
I try. They're in there. So where'd you like to be next?
I mean, your call. Well, I mean, so we just did Scavenger. We went to Alita 1 since we've already had her pre-order.
Hey, there she is.
So here's obviously Transformers 1, Alita 1. So we watched this pre-order, goodness, I think 6 months ago.
Yes, prototype model.
But the prototype model, painted model.
She has heels. I promise you. She will stand. Yeah, that was great. The prototype model that we had for that stream back then it had been used for the stop motion animation. Yes. They had drilled into the feet and they removed the heels. And it was just like, oh,
such a scramble to get the model ready for that pre-order. But here she is.
Yep.
I'm so pleased how they did her character in the film.
Yes.
Really, really well done. Really like her, and glad that she's getting kind of a moment to shine. But yeah, talk to us about the design.
Certainly. So worked with Ajima-san over at Karatomi on this. Came out freaking amazing.
Yeah.
She has a very interesting form factor. She's very spindly and all leg, which is we gave her a tracker blaster, which is like that generic blaster that you kind of see everybody using in the film. She can use it like all the other characters can use it, and she also comes with the mining jetpack that they have.
Mine does just look at that.
Yeah, and we made sure that this jetpack can actually connect to Megatron, Bumblebee, Optimus, so it works with all those characters as well. She has great articulation. She's got knees, ankles. She's got her wonderful bicep ball joints as well. Can you show off the moving heels? Oh, what the heels down here?
Yes.
Like what? So
Those are such a nice touch.
Oh, so that everybody believes me when I say heels? Yeah, I can absolutely do that. She actually has a really unique transformation that I don't think is something that we've done before that I found absolutely fascinating when Ajima-san sent it to us. So her rear wheels actually fold in half when she transforms, and it becomes her chest. It's very fascinating. So the wheels actually fold, but then they can still rotate. So it's very unique. It's something that I don't think we've done before.
They definitely don't recognize that.
Oops.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting when he sent it to me. I was like, we've done that before. So really cool. She's got some nice, wonderful tech inside her, and I hope you all have fun collecting the whole cast now. So that's the 4 members.
Yep.
We've got the whole team there.
Yeah, I just talked about obviously Starscream. So
well, yeah. Should we just go grab? You know what?
Might as well.
Okay, we'll bring him out.
Oh.
So this is something.
It's the Upload Screamer.
Off script here a little bit, but this is obviously makes sense. So this is actually what thing is this? This is fun. So this is fire? Yeah. No, you're mixing up. It's okay. It's okay. But so I can obviously understand.
He looks pretty good.
One as we did as well. Remember when we got the early screen?
The jet mode is so sick.
And then we watched, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. We love this, and our fans are gonna love this. So honestly, Transformers 1 is going to continue to be a lineup that we continue to flesh out. Of course, as you were just talking about, the Seekers, the Beta Seekers, Starscream here.
Well, the High Guard from the High Guard. He's essentially the leader of the Fallen High Guard, which is a very interesting story beat. So yeah, worked with Kunihiro-san on this figure. Obviously, if we're doing one Seeker, there will be other Seekers. However, the designers in the movie decided to make every Seeker unique, which is great for people who love the Seekers. As a toy designer who's used to just redecorating, it's a lot of work.
One mold to rule them all.
Not anymore. Yeah. Not anymore. So expect that at some point in the future. So people are probably interested. It's like, what's going on with this blaster? When Starscream transformed into his Tetrajet mode, they based it very much off of like the Bumblebee movie design, which was based off of obviously the original Tetrajet from the '84 series. So we had like these kind of protrusions down here, and transformation wise, when we're trying to figure it out, we're just like, okay, what do we do with those? Oh, okay, we'll make them pop up and be a blaster. Kunihiro's absolutely brilliant. When he was digging into the weeds of this, he was like, okay, and then when we do this, this, and this, we can partial this later to make this. I was like, yes, that's wonderful. That's lovely. Thank you. But yeah, made sure to get all his colors in there.
I wonder if they're going to do any pipeline stuff. They mentioned it last stream.
Reflect how we looked in the film. But yeah.
No, it looks awesome as you mentioned. More seekers to come.
More seekers to come, of course.
And we will not be just doing pure redecos. We will be making sure that the sculpts match what you see in the film.
Yes.
Evan will be doing it.
Yeah. It makes it hard to get them all out at once.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes. They have the partial amount, and so but obviously full copies of these will look amazing, and you guys will get that done. So. Again, really excited to get more Transformers 1. Again, be patient with us. We only have so many slots per year, so we want to make sure that we have love for, of course, 86, Transformers 1, which was an accidental but really good segue into our next and last deluxe for the last wave of the year. And this is for Bayverse.
It is.
Let's go, Widowmaker.
One of my favorite things is how he brought it to the line. This is where we were talking about.
Dude,
Please,
I can finally do what I've been wanting to do.
Why she looks this way? Why she's a McLaren AP412C? Thank you. You've done it wrong, guys. And it is a fully licensed McLaren vehicle. Thank you very much to the McLaren team. They were
Dude, she looks
love.
She looks so good.
But please talk to us about color choice, the design choice, the history from the film, and then why this toy is the toy.
So, I guess I'm going to start with working with Kunihiro-san at Takara on this. So, absolutely brilliant transformation. That's a lot of fun. So, in Transformers Age of Extinction, it is known that this McLaren MV Widowmaker, which Widowmaker ended up then becoming Stinger in the film.
Yes.
So they changed designs, they changed direction. That happens, and we loved that concept art quite a bit, and we wanted to bring it into our toy line. So we were like, oh, well, she was obviously red in the concept art because that's what Senior's colors were. So we're just like, oh, let's just color grade this. Oh, look, orange. Yeah, it's close enough, and we think this turned out great. We gave her a little half cape on the back because that's kind of what her concept art showed as well, and it actually just kind of fit really well as her form factor. A lot of her concept art showed
looks really good.
Incredibly more feminine, and not a lot of female. You don't need probably need pretenders. I don't know.
Dude, it looks so good.
Happy to get her out here, and I think she's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I want to say.
I got this my LCs, man. Saturnus Prime right there, baby. That's her.
Yep. And we did Sunstreak or the Ollie. Every once in a while, we just try to.
Yeah, and so I mean, I've seen fans share this concept art for years, and so that is now that we've started to dive into the concept art and see, especially with Bumblebee Megatron, seeing how much you guys respond to that figure. Of course, that first 3 minutes of Bumblebee is peak. Media, so we'll continue. As long as you all still like him, we will continue to dive into the vaults for
Super Gamer. She looks perfectly fine, buddy. She's perfectly fine.
86, Transformers 1, really everything. Really, it's just kind of a lot of untapped potential. Like, oh, why did they cut this with this guy recording voice lines from 86? But why? I mean, I'm thinking Inferno and things like that. So definitely something that we love. It seems like the response has been really positive. So a lot more to come. But this is, again, when you get the female Decepticon representation, it's really cool. And then it's just I guess, super cool.
I know it's a Decepticon, but she is technically a KSI drone, but now taken over by Albatron, so then it's a gray area. It turns into a gray area. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy her.
Well, I'm definitely gonna, man.
Really fun figure. So we don't have a lot of orange representation just overall in Transformers.
The only thing comes up like
look at her.
Even ours, that's funny. I didn't really know about that.
Oh, very cool. Write in the comments.
Yeah,
your favorite one.
It looks like 100 of them.
Yeah, oh god, that's fine. Give us your engagement.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that wraps up the Studio Series reveals for pre-order. Again, 1 p.m. Eastern today.
Come on, pipeline.
So again, we're doing something.
Well,
First time. Oh yeah.
before that, do we want to do timelines real quick?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we obviously have the first what we call timelines multi-pack with Optimus and Starscream. Did that pre-order a few months ago.
Hard to steal, man.
Evan's passion projects, taking inspiration from other 90s toy lines where you get your top 4 characters in all sorts of different ages and times and different.
That's a cool box, though.
Really love to get the top characters and all sorts of different modes and bring a freshness to, of course, these guys right here. So this one is Megatron and Bumblebee. We are going to have quantities available at San Diego Comic-Con this year.
Cars of steel.
Yeah, I know. And we'll have more details on the pre-order date as well, but these will be at San Diego Comic-Con. Wanted to make sure we show them off as the 2025 set. So Evan, take it away.
Yeah,
the boxes are so thick.
that I've been trying to get going for a couple of years, actually.
Yeah.
It didn't actually start with this, but it was just kind of pulling from comic books and things like that, different representations of these characters and how they've shown up. And someone was like, well, "What about Hearts of Steel?" And it's like, yes.
Do you like trains, Evan?
Just a little, just a little bit. Once or twice, my parents might have said that if somebody was in a train, I didn't love them.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's changed.
No, probably not. But yeah, just these are fantastic designs. We're happy to finally get them out there. The fans are super into them. Hopefully, we can dig more into this universe because there are some fantastic other character designs that show up.
The Shockwave with the steamboat.
But yeah, we'd love to get them out there. As you said, Megatron Bumblebee available first time at San Diego.
See now, buy now at San Diego Comic Con. These two, Optimus and Starscream, are available for pre-order right now.
Yeah.
And that's a Pulse exclusive. This will be San Diego, but that's not our San Diego Comic Con exclusive. That's the Void Rivals pack, which you guys have already seen.
Yep.
But really excited about this one.
Are they gonna do pipeline?
Late on Hearts of Steel, and then second, do you think we should do another age of something for 26?
I mean,
it's an easy question, but what can you tell us about 26?
What can I tell you about 26? What am I allowed to tell them about 26?
Barricade?
Hey, it's coming. It's gonna be the same 4 characters again, but in a different theme.
Yeah.
I do want to say that these 4 were done by Ajima-san. I just want to make sure to get that out there. Over at Takara Tomy, which is fantastic. Of course, they're always fantastic. I love the Megatron. Yeah, the Megatron turned out great. Yeah, they turned out so good. But yes, we will be continuing to dig into universes. I will say next year's theme is actually a little bit more original.
I was just going to say that. So obviously we have the comic books that you were referencing off of, and so there's story and lore that matches these. The next set of 4, so yeah. Similar, another multi-pack of Optimus and Starscream, another multi-pack of Megatron and Bumblebee. Would love to hear, number one, what you think it might be, and then would love to hear, like, oh my gosh, if they're going to do this, you should do Age of fill in the blanks.
It would actually be fun if you would comment and tell us what themes you think would be fun to do.
Because this is really like white space. Lore.
Well, it's already late to IDW.
Which I think, I know that you guys love new all forms, new stories, which I think is a huge part of why Ace and Prize is doing so well. Obviously, Mark's designs are insane, but also just adding lore to, a lot of things like, this is my favorite theory, this is my favorite, and then like Mark is really kind of putting flesh to the bone on this is what Comics Prime looks like, this is what Microtron. So this is I love what you've been doing on the timeline stuff. So we're following those, as I mentioned, available for pre-order right now, and then these will be on site at San Diego Comic Con, and then we'll give you further details on when the actual pre-order will go live.
Yep. Sounds good to me. So
I love the packaging.
Yes,
it's awesome. I know I've started to see people getting these at their houses, the first multi-pack, and you guys have really appreciated the packaging. Again, Amy.
No, this was Mario.
Oh, gosh. Amy does Mario.
So this was Mario. Yeah. Thank you, Mario.
Yeah. But this look.
Yeah.
Are they doing their pipeline stuff?
What Amy has done for 26.
Yes, it's gonna blow people's minds.
I want t-shirts made with that art. So more to follow there. So thank you for the reminder on timelines. And I think potentially the highlights of the fan story is what we've got next.
Yes, I think so as well.
So this is something new. Again, I'll say this is kind of coming off of learning on being late on Megatron, mea culpa. But this one, we are going to show you, as I mentioned earlier, the very first looks at 2026 Studio Series. So we're going to start with, I think, one of people's like biggest
What?
Arachnid.
Let's go, Arachnid!
Well, she's a deluxe. And then
Let's go, Arachnid!
So that's the
Dude, if they show Barricade, I'm gonna lose it. If they show TLT and Barricade,
that made the most sense. But now when we watch the movie, I don't know if they're angling her to look a little bit bigger, but it made sense at the time. That's how I'm gonna word it. But I mean, she's thin. Yeah.
dude, that's how she's dope.
Like, I think if you show this to me and just give me your best bet,
That alt mode is sick.
it's like a Deluxe Plus. Let me grab actually Starscream. Yeah. To give a obviously want to always show the scale we can within universes. Or let's shoot. Yeah, it's okay. But working with the G-Mason on Arachnid, we want to make sure it has movable legs that are on ball joints, so they can go all around. And I guess I should say, these are gray models. Yeah, that's what we are filling up right now. For 2026, we're kind of giving you a sneak peek.
Dude, they showed the last day Barricade. Oh my god.
We also like base instructions off of these models. We wanted to bring them in and just show them off instead of just dropping.
If they show Barricade, man.
Yeah, and I have to say, the wizardry that Hajime-san worked to make this happen. But like, people who have been watching the streams, there was a joke I made going back and forth with, it's fine, we have a origin. No, you get it to the left. This was her. That was where that interaction was coming from. She
If they show Barricade,
color, even though her legs weren't together to kind of form that in the back. We did sort of have to make up her legs a little bit. In the movie, she just has, I also want to call those prosthetic legs where it's like a flexible material. She doesn't have a heel. For a toy, we have to give her a heel so that she can support herself. Yeah, she ended up being a fantastic figure. She ends up having butterfly articulation just because of the way that she transforms. So she has a bit of extra posability in her arms.
dude, if they show Barricade, I'm gonna lose it.
Obviously, the grain also is a little bit loose, so you actually tie her in the end. Yeah, I hope you all kind of enjoy this little sneak peek that we have going on here. I remember seeing her on screen for the first time. That's a character we should absolutely do. I just don't know how that is possible. And then,
Come on, something big. Come on.
This looks incredible, especially at the little scale. Like, oh, it's all she's so cool. He figured this out. Like we went back and forth a bit, but he had all the answers. Yeah, as they always do. Yeah, as they always do. But yeah, so first look at Arachnid, and obviously no pre-orders today. No, this is just the first week of 2026. Again, we want you to get the first looks from us. Yeah. So we're trying to always improve and listening to your comments and responding to it. Because again, we don't want theories. We want you guys to know. Oh, no, I know exactly what Arachnid is going to be because I saw it on the fan stream. It is a deluxe scale and the drone does spin and all those things. So, yeah, this is awesome.
Come on, come on.
I love these ones. I was like, oh my gosh, I kind of want to make the colors. Yeah. So of course, this is Alpha again.
Alpha Tryon!
Let's take it way up. Yep. So this is Voyager, also done by Hajime-san. Give me one.
Are they going to do pipeline reveals?
Get him to stand up because it's a gray model. There we go. So.
Wow, he looks pretty good actually.
Teacher that also has to maybe not make it to the end of the film. Spoiler alert. We gives everybody their comics. We want to make sure we get him in there. He was monstrous. Yeah, so the boss in there. So that's why he's a Voyager scale. He turns into a unicorn lion. It's very interesting, of course, and has some history in Transformers as a redeco and a bunch of weirdness there that they were pulling from. Happy to get it. Kids line main toy, which was just clean. But yeah, obviously we used the movie cat for this. She went in line with people having a big jaw and all that fun stuff.
It looks good.
Turned his electro tail into like a whip for him just because you needed something to do that. Yeah,
It's a nice figure.
No, it's great, and again, gray model EP1.
Gray model EP1.
Colors will match film, don't worry. But again, in the spirit of transparency and giving you guys the first looks, just first sneaking into one of our first voyages for 2026. Of course, pre-order details to follow in the future, but we're gonna start. If you guys like it, I have a strong suggestion you do. We'll continue to show off more of these early models, even if it's not just for pre-order, just to give you an early look. And just kind of see.
Come on, man. Barricade.
And everybody just give you this kind of first piece. So hopefully you guys really appreciate this. Those are the only two gray models we have for today.
Yeah, we're gonna pace things out. Yes, so as we do more streams in the future, we'll reveal everything in 2024.
No, it's just we're still gonna save some news for Comic-Con months, so there'll be some more news, especially in 2026 product exclusives at San Diego Comic-Con. And then something else kind of new. Okay, I think. Again, we did our fan stream a couple weeks ago with Mark on Age of Crimes, and I asked you specifically to please comment on our commander price points. Really appreciate all the comments. All sorts of different things. Okay. I think one of the biggest things that I took away from it was, please, more combiners, which no surprise there. The two that I saw,
Defensor.
Way I just kind of looked at the comments and like,
Defensor.
Kept popping up. Defensor and Freddy King seem to be in a
Defensor.
love. There was all sorts of love out there, but yeah, so it really seemed like Defensor and Freddy King seem to be the top two. Thoughts on those?
Everybody likes the protected bots.
Yes.
And it's interesting because we have Bruticus coming. I guess the protected bots and Bruticus are kind of like the opposing forces there, so that makes a lot of sense. I love them. My favorite combiner.
Yes, they're doing Defensor.
Yeah, because I told you that before this. My online handle when I was a kid was Copy Shop.
Yeah, funny. Look at it.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
They're doing Defensor.
Copy Shop. Like they didn't know how to say the name, but it's like, young cultured swine.
What is it? If I understand it,
yeah. Rail racing would be amazing. Those would each piece would be a Titan. Because he is monstrous. Yeah, but that would be a lot of fun. Freddy King is also huge. Obviously, that would be awesome.
Yeah, because what was like 5-6 years ago was the last time we did Freddy King? Maybe longer ago.
He was a Titan boss back in the day. Yeah. And they made him like just as big as Devastator, maybe a little bit bigger. But yeah, he would be very fun to do. Obviously, there will be more combiners coming. I don't know if we can confirm or deny other than Bruticus. But going forward, yeah, expect more combined.
Yes, absolutely. So I get feedback. And a couple of people were talking about, I made a comment, which I'm honestly quoting you and Mark, where we don't ever like to leave a collection incomplete. Yeah, so if we do one seeker, we want to do it, of course. Yeah. As I mentioned before, we only have so many slots, so much tooling per year, and we do our best to do kind of a inch deep, mile wide on the fandoms, recognizing that really kind of every content for Strange Wars is somebody's G1, whether it's Beast Wars, obviously G1. Even Training Wars 1 with, I think a really new generation was, I sure hope so. With Rise of Beast 2, back to that movie, hopefully that's really resonating as well. So, talking about collections,
right now.
Oh no, they're with the twins.
Bring it up every once in a while, and we put feelers out like with like our creative team, and we're trying to see like what everybody's feeling, and every once in a while it's just like no, not yet. I'll never say never in this, so
absolutely.
I think it is an eventuality. I think we will get there eventually, just not right now. Yep.
So you said that very well, because this is different than the discussion on Megatron, the Blaster, and Tank Mode, because that is a legal thing.
Yeah.
There's no gray area there. We just can't do it. Yeah. These guys is more, how did you describe it earlier? You said like an emotional thing. So we know there's strong opinions on just make the stinking collection, and there's other people like, no. But to wrap that up, for now, there are no plans That is not a never.
Yeah.
We are fully, I think the biggest thing is we're fully aware that those are two gaping holes in the collection. So it's hopefully a potentiality, but we'll see. Again, Evan and I probably every year kind of gauge the interest across the team.
It's not just us; it's also Xara and everybody else asking. Like, so it's an eventuality. It will happen eventually. Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
So thank you on that's great. And then the last comment that I saw and it struck out to me is again back to combiners.
Okay.
Construct the work.
Oh. I think fans realize what the pieces that are out there. Yeah. I've used those molds a couple times, but maybe he's coming, and maybe I promise you, he won't be dinosaurs.
Yes.
That's how I'll put that.
So yeah, so stay tuned on Construct the work. Potentially coming. Potentially coming.
Potentially coming.
But appreciate that comment. And again, thanks for all the comments. We do read it. We definitely care about what you guys think and how we're doing, how the toys are doing, and of course, that leads to actually our first, I think, probably not ever, but at least on our fans, my first fan poll question.
Yeah.
This is, I stop by Evan's desk on a daily basis to just talk shop and throw ideas at him and just talk about what we're doing for years and certain designs and whatnot, which Evan is amazing to work with, as you guys know, especially those who've met him.
I'm amazed you can fit there now. That's what how much junk is in there sometimes. Everybody has to like crawl and shuffle in, and it's like, yeah, I know I live here.
If only you didn't have so much secret stuff in there, I would love to give a brief tour of your desk. But let's get to one room you've ever seen. Yeah. So here is the question.
Yeah.
I have asked this to Evan. We've had this discussion. I'm not going to clue you into who's on which side. You're probably going to know it. But here is the question, and this is about as short as I could get it. So, do you want to see toys of characters from season 1 and 2 of the G1 cartoon that did not appear in the 86 movie in the Studio Series 86 segment?
Yes.
Is that too weird? Is that blasphemous? Is that awesome? Yes, please, because these guys were in the world. And I'm not talking concept art like Inferno, where he's literally in the credits. I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, we've had this conversation many times because obviously there are different versions of the script. There are storyboards that show different characters and with scenes that got cut. And it always turned out to be a what is okay to show in Studio Series and label it Studio Series. So that's why we're reaching out and asking all of you, like, what do you all prefer? I'm assuming they want more. Everybody wants.
That's my hunch. But again, we would please answer the questions. Just simple yes or no. We will certainly put that in our toolkit as far as what we have plans in the future. As I mentioned, we're knee deep in 2027 planning right now.
Yep.
We are, I don't have a percentage, but we're probably like 75% done with the 86 cast.
Yeah, that's a good number to put there. I know people have quoted me slightly right and wrong about saying we'll be done with 86 in 2026. And it's like, well, we'll just be reaching the bottom of the barrel.
Yes.
Like but there will be more. There's always more. I can mine deeper. I can go deeper. There's no bottom.
This one animation cell, this one interview back in 1986 that someone said, I recorded lines, but I got cut.
Just one animation error.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so please help us out there.
Yeah.
But
I think that's our stream.
Yeah, that's the whole stream. So again, 1 p.m. Eastern today. All the
pipeline apparently
models live for pre-orders. The timelines will be at San Diego Comic-Con. See now, buy now. More details to follow with that. Really excited to get these gray models out there. Really excited about the fan poll question.
Yeah,
I'll be refreshing the video with the answers and talking to him about that. So really excited about that.
No, I'm glad you do that. So, obviously, if you have any questions, reach out on Instagram. I know I've kind of been quiet on there recently. I'll get back on it, I promise. And obviously, anybody's coming to San Diego Comic-Con, come by and say hi. Yeah. We'll both be there. So will Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will just be great to talk to you guys about Transformers. Anything else?
President? Okay, the next time you'll hear from us is at San Diego Comic-Con in a little over a month. We're incredibly excited. Please, if you're in the area, please come and talk to either one of us. I'm sure Mark and Edward are way cooler than me. So whoever you want to talk to, we'll be there. We'll have the panel as well, like we did last year, where we have all sorts of new news, show us some models. And of course, you'll be able to pre-order by the San Diego Comic-Con. San Diego Comic Con exclusive. Yep. But yeah, I think that's it. That's it. So again, thanks guys. Appreciate your patience. But that's all for Evan and me for today. And until next time, we'll see you later. Thanks.